Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Menachem Creditor. I serve as scholar in residence for UJ Federation of New York. And every weekday, Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday, as we'll have this week, Shavuot, we come to you live Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning. So what a blessing it is to say hello to all of you. Hi Susan, you are the first comment of the day. You get 10 rabbi points. Tomorrow night is Shavuot. We have a lot of learning to do before we earn our place at the base of the mountain to receive Torah together. But I think we'll get there. I think we're going to do just fine. Let's learn a little bit. Let's sing a blessing and wish each other a good day. Good morning, Dale. Hi, Debbie. It's good to see you. We? All right, I guess we're doing all right. Here we go, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be together, isn't it? I have to tell you, I think this is number 46 or 47 of our morning broadcasts with UJA. What a lucky thing it is that we have this technology, that we have each other, and that you are sharing such sweet comments. There's love flowing on the screen. There's good morning greetings to everyone. So, on the way to the mountain, right, so for those who are unfamiliar, Shavuot, the holiday of Shavuot, begins Thursday night. And it is a very powerful moment on the Jewish calendar where we stand together again at Sinai. The morning of Shavuot, that'll be Friday morning, the first of two, we read the giving of the Torah. And what is revealed in that moment is the Ten Commandments. What is actually revealed is a relationship with God as reflected in human society. The first command is this very powerful one: I am the Lord your God. And it is worthy and important and perhaps a little bit uncomfortable to do the kind of reflecting I want us to do this morning. So I'd like to have no less joy, but to be very clear that those commands are upon us and we don't always succeed at fulfilling them. There are ways as individuals we fail, and that's just being human. There are ways that we succeed, and that's also being very human. It is a beautiful thing to be a human being created in the image of God. It is a holy thing to be a human being created in the image of God. And Pirkei Avot, an ancient rabbinic text, says, even more blessed are we that we know we are created in the image of God. So, first of all, how lucky are we? To be a human being is to be created in the image of God. But here's where that becomes uncomfortable. I am created in the image of God, and you are created in the image of God, and no human being isn't. And yet some human beings treat some other human beings as if they're not created in the image of God. On Monday, a man named George Floyd, who was suspected of forgery, was choked to death by 4 white police officers in Minneapolis. And I know that's not the kind of Torah that I've been sharing, a response to these mornings. But if Torah is going to matter, and if we're going to build a world worthy of all of the precautions we are taking for each other's health and safety and welfare, if Torah is going to matter in the world, creating a just society, if Torah is going to matter because we make it real, we have to point to offenses against God like that. It's complicated. It is uncomfortable. The image of God is a universal human right. So I wanted to share with you, in response to the murder of George Floyd, who said, "I can't breathe," for 6 minutes. Just like Eric Garner said, another black man. Now, I have to name my perspective. I'm a white man. Jews have not always been treated with equality, and Jews have not always been considered white when whiteness is a signal of privilege. But in this moment of American history, I'm not a black man, and I don't know what that experience is. So in order to honor the image of God, I have to acknowledge that we come in different images, and those images have different eyes and different ways of seeing in the world. But to understand that God's image is not uniquely mine. So I want to share words of a modern American prophet. If you hear the siren with me, it's a tradition to say, El Narafan Allah. God, please help the rescuers. This is one of my favorite books, not because it only brings up pleasant things. So in the tradition of this book and its prophetic author, Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, I'm going to share some quotes from an essay. It was an opening address at the National Conference on Religion and Race in Chicago in 1963. So I just want to share how Heschel would have us think about this moment so that we can earn our place at the mountain. That's important to remember. We have to earn our place. This birthright, Torah, is meant to be a statement of universal human rights. And that doesn't mean it has always been that. It means that through a growing consciousness in the world, which is what Torah called us to cultivate, we're supposed to apply it so that the world, our nation, our neighbors, can be a fair and just place. We might never get there. We might never get there, but we dare not stop trying. In 1963, here is some of what Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel said. I think, by the way, if he had been writing today, he wouldn't use the word man when he's talking about people. But instead of rephrasing him on the fly, I'll read it in his original language, and you and I know that he didn't mean just men. It is not within the power of God to forgive the sins committed toward men. We must first ask for forgiveness of those whom our society has wronged before asking for the forgiveness of God. Daily we patronize institutions which are visible manifestations of arrogance towards those whose skin differs from ours. Daily we cooperate with people who are guilty of active discrimination. How long will I, and it's italics in his writing, how long will I continue to be tolerant of, even a participant in, acts of embarrassing and humiliating human beings in restaurants, hotels, buses, or parks, employment agencies, public schools, and universities? One ought rather be shamed than put others to shame. Here's just a little bit more. That equality is a good thing, a fine goal, may be generally accepted. What is lacking is a sense of the monstrosity of inequality. Seen from the perspective of prophetic faith, the predicament of justice is the predicament of God. Of course, more and more people are becoming aware of the problem of racism, but they fail to grasp its being a personal problem. People are increasingly fearful of social tension and disturbance. However, so long as our society is more concerned to prevent racial strife than to prevent humiliation, the cause of strife, its moral status will be depressing indeed. He continues to talk and write and teach and march and act as we continue to speak and march and teach and act. It is really hard to find any other headline right now other than a virus. How could it be otherwise? And yet, we have to pay attention to what is happening in our world beyond this very excruciating moment we're all sharing. If we are going to reach the mountain, and I think we will, it's going to be because we recognize that the mountain is not the destination. The mountain is the place where a free people took stock of its own experiences as an oppressed people, earned language of human dignity, began striving for a world of greater equality and of universal image of God, treatment of others. So I know this is a heavier message than I've taught before, but sometimes the mountain can be kind of heavy. The name of the book, Bernice, is The Insecurity of Freedom by Abraham Joshua Heschel. All the work UJA Federation does in the world is about building this world into a place of love and fairness, eradicating poverty, making sure that the dignity of anyone who's being hurt is restored. We champion those who are the most vulnerable in the Jewish community everywhere in the world, and for everybody here in New York. Everybody is our sister. Everybody is our brother. And that means when any human being is being treated as less than human, that is my brother. That is my sister. And I have no right to stand at the base of God's mountain if I don't recognize the image of God on earth. Heschel taught us elsewhere that the reason we are told not to create a graven image of God, the second commandment, is because there already is a second image of God. You. Me. A man named George in Minneapolis. First of all, may his memory be for a blessing. May we make this story different starting right now, because we didn't look away, because we recognize that it's my problem, it's your problem. Let's make sure when we get to the mountain, we all get to the mountain. So what I'm going to ask us to do, and maybe I need this as much as anybody in this moment, having just shared raw, probably a little bit less delicate teaching. Let's take a breath, everybody. And let the breath fill our lungs so that we make sure that what comes out of our mouths is worthy. So that the Torah that we teach is worthy. So that standing in the mountain is seen as something we have to earn, not something automatic. So, the name of the book, Debbie, is The Insecurity of Freedom. But honestly, if you look up Abraham Joshua Heschel, it's all worth it. The Insecurity of Freedom is a good place to start. Let's sing our way into a just world, everyone. Sing and then go look for something you can do to make this world better. Let's do that today. Boker Tov, everyone. Have a really good day.